discuss what we have presented, inshallah. So enjoy the evening with me, inshallah. I'll start by sharing my screen. This will be my outline. Firstly, what is AI, artificial intelligence? Before 1940s, there was nothing called AI. So the whole story started from 1940. Many people just heard about AI this year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Maybe some people who are coping up with the domain heard it 5, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, but no one knows that the roots of AI started maybe from 1940s and 1950s. Some of the concepts started at that era, especially when some mathematicians and computer scientists started to use the computer in a more professional way that is more smart or smarter than the usual way of using the computers. And at that time, Mr. Turing, the British mathematician and computer scientist, developed a test that is very famous in the world of AI called the Turing test. I'll show you how does this work. When they tried to develop and implement computers that have some intelligence that can do some tasks that only humans can do, he said, I'll give you a test, a way of judging how well is this computer doing and performing in the human related or human-like tasks. So he developed his Turing test. It has been used as one of the very famous tests for the capabilities of AI models for many, many, many years, although it has been developed in 1950s. So simply he said, we will have 3 rooms, okay? 3 rooms, as you can see. One room will be the computer, the smart computer. The other room will have a human being responding to a computer screen. And the third room will have the interrogator, who is blind. He doesn't know which of his questions is answered by who. Is it answered by the real person or is it answered by the computer? And if the interrogator failed to distinguish that player A is a computer and player B is a human, then this computer passed Turing test and it proved to be a really smart application. If the interrogator easily differentiated that player B is a person and player A is just a computer answering his questions, then this computer application did not pass Turing test. Interesting, isn't it? So this was the beginning of the era, and Turing test is one of the famous things. Then in one conference, John McCarthy in Dartmouth conference just gave the name artificial intelligence. And since this date, 1956, the name was used in all research papers. After, also in the 50s, by the way, they started what's called neuron networks or artificial neurons. It started that early, yes, in the 50s. And it has been developed since then. And then, like every domain that has some initial attraction and people wanted to try to devote some research grants, efforts in this field, AI unfortunately suffered from a setback, a bad period where researchers, universities, countries just thought that it was not that attractive idea, and they started to slow down the grants, the research work that is done in AI field. And this was famously called as the AI winter. AI winter was the period in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. And during this period, AI work slowed down a lot, and research load and focus on AI started to slow down because many organizations thought that this was an over expectation of the field. But again, like everyone knows now, AI had its own resurgence and re-emergence. It again came back with big focus from different companies, from different countries in the late 1990s and 2000s. And I'll give you the reason for that. Everyone, even the layman persons, even the normal people that are non-scientists, non-specialists, were shocked one day when they watched the news that the world chess champion Gary Kasparov was beaten 1997 by the computer model Deep Blue in 1997. This was really something at that time. It was breaking news. The AI could beat the world champion in chess. And since 1997, since that shock, the focus came again back to the AI field. Can you, if you have no questions, can you please mute your microphone? Yes. So, who knows the Chinese game Go? Please write in the comments if you know it. Anyone heard about Go? No one. It's fine. No, sadly. Okay, okay, Fadia. No problem. So let's cover. You can see my screen, right? Okay. So chess was difficult to play by the computer. Anyone has idea why? Here I'll stop. I'll not just talk. Let's talk together. Who can give me his input here? Just open the mic and talk.
I guess it needs some technique.
First, introduce yourself kindly.
I'm Hala Najjar from Jordan.
How are you, Hala?
I'm good.
Great. You said it needs techniques. You know, this is not the difficult part of the AI work here. You know what is the difficult part?
You need to think like a human.
You know something, I want to share that with you. You know why there are good chess players and average chess players? You know what's the difference between them?
No.
Anyone has an idea what makes a good chess player?
Maybe if the player can protect the move before the another player move it.
Can you define yourself?
Muhammad from Jordan.
How are you, Muhammad? Yes, it's
Fine.
a very good point, Muhammad, actually. Because good chess players and professional ones, especially the champions, can think in their heads. If I do this move, what are the possible reactions from my opponent? And I can imagine then later, based on this reaction, what will be my next move? And what are the possible reactions from the opponent? And then he will think again, what is the higher level, third level move? And what would be the reactions of the opponents? And then what would be my fourth move? And what would be the reactions from the opponents? Are you getting my point here? In his mind, at the current state, at the current time, he's thinking about 10 moves ahead and the possible reactions of the opponents. Can you get this complication?
Yes.
If I am very professional, I can go ahead for larger time steps. I can predict the ahead 6, 7, 8, maybe 12 moves, 15 moves. What about computers? Computers, to predict my move and all the possible other moves, it's not easy. You know why? Because it needs so much computation. It needs so much computing power to do that. And that was not easy at all. Until they utilized some concepts of what is called deep learning. We will go to that. And then suddenly and shockingly, they were able to do computations and prediction of future moves more than the world champion. So once they do ahead of time more expectations of future moves, they can beat the world champion. Everyone got the idea here? So it's about predicting what will happen for so many moves in advance and understanding what are all the possible combinations and what are the possible reactions that can happen and covering all of those in the plan. It's not an easy job at all. So going back to what we said here, chess, even if I said it is very complicated, but it is nothing compared to the Chinese game Go. At least chess has lower number of squares and every piece has limited number of moves that it can do, right? Anyone knows chess rules? Yeah, so limited. At the end, no matter how big you think it is not comparable to this game I'm sharing with you. This is Go. And this is another breaking news that already all the world woke up about this Go. The world champion in Go was beaten by AI again, but how many years after that? He was beaten in 2016. 2016. So this is the world. It's actually ranked number 3 in AI. He is South Korean. Yes, his name is Lee Sedol, South Korean player, and he was beaten. Although this game, can you look at the number of squares here? It's much more complicated than the chess. So much combinations and predictions, so many steps ahead to do, so it was not easy. And here, the beauty of Google, one of the largest companies, of course, in technology, developed, and one of the companies specialized in developing AI models was called Google DeepMind, which developed this AlphaGo model, which beat the world champion in 2016. So there are some stages of the AI, and finally, of course, in the late 20s, like 2014, there was a breakthrough in the deep learning world by the work of Ian. Just 1 second. Ian Goodfellow, who introduced a new concept called GANs, and so on. Deep learning was initiated to mimic the neural network of the humans, or the neurons, the brain and its neuron structure, and the way that we process information in our brains. The computer scientists stopped at this and tried to understand what is the process, how the neurons process the data and the information and help in decision making at the end. And they tried to do a similar concept in what is called deep learning. Of course, you have to know that there are two different things. There is AI and there is traditional computing. Okay? Traditional computing is like writing a normal program. And writing a normal program is usually given the name rule-based program. Rule-based program means I'll just set the rules and the program will follow my rules. The computer is just going to execute the rules I'm giving to it. But in the world of AI, there are differences here. The AI includes the logic to think and to learn what to do, not to follow strict rules like the traditional computing. So AI has been affecting many domains like healthcare, for example. Um, it has been used in diagnosis, in predictive analytics, in personalized medicine. Who knows what's the meaning of personalized medicine is? Please stop me here and comment. Please share your knowledge. Anyone knows what is personalized medicine? Medicine for one person or one nation. Yes, let me correct that, Farah. That's good approach. There is difference between precision medicine and personalized medicine. Precision, yes, can be up to nation level. Okay, but personalized, we are talking about one person for sure. So this is the difference here. So, for example, I'll give you an example. If, for example, someone has like skin infection, okay, what has been done is that the doctor will prescribe an antibiotic that is good for this type of infection. Is that correct? Yes, like a cream or tablet or whatever, local or systemic medication that is more appropriate to this type of infection. He does not consider so much if this patient is Arabic patient, Indian patient, like Canadian patient. He does not think like that. He does not think like the like does he has diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, any other considerations like this. It's not considered like right. So it is like this what has been the tradition for prescribing medicine. But with more data, with what they call big data era, now lots of data are available from different healthcare organizations about people, their age, their gender, their maybe ethnicity or nationality, and the infection or the disease, and what antibiotic did they take, and for how long, and what was the result. What is this? We have now a revolution that has so much more information than before. And it is now the time to say, no, I'll not give you this antibiotic, although you have this infection, because for Indians, it is much better than for Jordanians. So I'll give this one because it showed better response for Jordanian patients than the general prescriptions. Or I'll choose this antibiotic for Egyptian patients because they will work better for Egyptian patients, and so on. This is on nation level, and this is called precision medicine. Of course, we can go deeper and deeper on some personalized level, especially if the DNA profile of the patient is known, which is affecting many of the patient response to medications, and also with the personalized like profile of the patient, like the concurrent diseases and what has been taken before, his age, his demographics, and all of these can affect the decision making. This is called
personalized medicine. Okay, so this is personalized medicine. Of course, we use also AI in the healthcare, like in robotics and automations, telemedicine and remote monitoring, drug development, and ethical and privacy considerations. I'll go to that in the pharmacy part. So, um, of course, we will hear from our colleagues in medicine that the AI is used in clinical data and imaging data like X-ray, MRIs, and other medical imaging, genetic data, and real-time monitoring of the patients. And of course, it can help a lot our physicians in their decision-making process. Um, we will cover the concept. No, we can never talk about AI without talking about some ethical considerations, because uh, with usage of AI, you have to consider some ethics. Sometimes it's not only about values and ethics, sometimes it has legal consequences. For example, getting patient data and violating patient privacy, and maybe taking a wrong decision based on an AI recommendation. Who takes responsibility? So, and how did the AI reach this recommendation? Okay, these are all belong to ethical considerations and what's known as bias in decision making as well. So, let's move to the yeah, pharmacy. AI in pharmacy. This is our focus as pharmacists. So uh, you can simply think of AI like in nowadays it can move in different directions in the pharmacy domain. So pharmacy has clinical aspect like pharmacy practice aspect, and we have like uh, pharmaceutical sciences, basic sciences like drug development and drug testing, drug formulation, and so on. So we have like pharmacy practice and clinical pharmacy side and pharmaceutical sciences. AI can help both directions. For example, it can help in providing better clinical services by helping in clinical decision support and medication management process and dispensing process, by developing algorithms that can learn the optimal dispensing patterns and recommend what to do. And also in terms of like medication supply chain management, which is related to the management of medications and distribution of medications to the important areas where they can be dispensed and given. And this is related to stock management and inventory management. As well, this can be enhanced a lot using AI. So we talked about clinical side of things, inventory and supply chain side of things, and of course, on the side of patient care and counseling, it can help a lot. Whether to have a chat bots or some applications that allow the patient to get real-time AI data, or interact with like healthcare professionals. As well, we have also the impact on the drug development, and this is really interesting. If you hear the R&D budget in big companies like Pfizer, like whatever other big companies, they spend so much money to develop a new product, right? And they try this molecular structure and this modification by modifying this group, this side group in the structure of the molecule. Let's test how better it is performing in binding to the receptor, or how better is it in terms of less side effects, and so on. It's lot of budget, lots of expenses and trials and errors, and the cycle is very long because it depends on trial and error. And here the AI comes to the picture. It is enough. I'll just cover this one in the next slide here. Let me cover this one. Yes, here. Yes, okay. So how can AI accelerate the process of drug discovery? Now we know the receptor that each drug is supposed to work on, right? So we introduce the receptor structure to the AI application, and we introduce the drug structure, and the application will do magic. It can predict how much or how well this structure will fit to this receptor, whatever this enzyme, this protein, this cell receptor, this binding site. It will predict how well with this structure fit to the receptor. And not only that, it can recommend structural changes by introducing some groups or removing some groups from the current structure, and how well will it fit to the target protein after doing these modifications. Imagine, imagine how much money and time can be saved by using AI in the drug discovery phase now and drug development. Not only that, of course, our colleagues who work in drug formulations also they can try different combinations of excipients and formulas, and maybe putting the medications or the excipients under some temperatures and pressures. All these variables can be also optimized using AI, and it will provide the best combinations that can be used to develop the formulas. What I've explained as uh, predicting the activity of the drug or the side effects or the main effect using the structure is called screening for drug candidates. So the AI can help the pharmaceutical companies select the best drug candidates where they can really put some more budgets, and they can expend so much money on these promising medications. Optimizations of drug formulation, yes, we covered that. Okay, and don't forget about personalized medicine as well, because we talked about that every person has DNA structure and sequence of genes that might affect the shape of the target enzymes, the target receptors in his body, and also can affect the response way to different medications. That's why it can be personalized, giving specific drug to a specific patient based on these genetic data and AI recommendations. And of course, it can help in clinical trials because you can like replace some of the real patients with some AI predictions and mix the results, or use AI to identify better candidates for the clinical trials. Um, of course, going back here, we do not only talk about AI in drug discovery in the pharmacy, we have so much opportunities in the automated dispensing systems, in predictive analytics, in chatbots, and in clinical decision support tools, using machine learning in compounding pharmacy and in robotics. Of course, there is a specialty called pharmacogenomics. We talked about the impact of genomics on the pharmacological action of the medications, and AI is the hero nowadays in this science because it is helping predict so many things that we never understood before AI. And of course, telepharmacy, providing remote services, remote patient care services, remote prescription verifications, and patient counseling can be done using AI. AI comes with challenges as well because as I told you, ethics is not an easy thing in AI. You have to be very careful when you use AI. AI might have legal consequences of usage, and also data privacy, integration of data should be looked at very carefully and getting ethical approvals before uh, moving forward to AI. AI in supply chain has been tremendously applied, not only in pharmacy, but in any supply chain environment, which is known for the need to optimize inventory and stock levels, not to overstock, not to understock, and just to use the right levels and to maybe make automated orders in time and predict consumptions and analytics and demand forecasting. Um, of course, this will help in reducing wastes and expired medications, as well as better control of medication stock. AI can be integrated with electronic health records, and it can be enabling so many things related to supply chain optimizations. Real-time analytics is very important. For example, taking time-sensitive decisions at the right time, and for example, predicting a shortage in one item and taking appropriate decision to provide alternatives or to manage some decisions in the right time is very important. This is called proactive management. Of course, AI can be used in educating patients and consulting them, and can be used in continuous learning and improvement for the pharmacists. From the real world, we have so many examples. I'll just mention some of them for you. In the drug discovery that is AI powered, we have the AtomWise. Personalized medicine, we have Tempus. Automated dispensing, we have Script Pros Robotics. These are real world applications for the AI powered applications. Clinical decision support, we have IBM Watson Health. Predictive analytics in pharmacy, we have Walgreens. AI in compound pharmacy, we have Capsule. Uh, Benevolent AI for drug repurposing, pharmacovigilance, Aetion AI example. These are just real world examples of some applications. You can take note of them. You will find them in their websites and their applications, and you can have more idea about them. Of course, AI models are as good as the data they are trained on. This is very important. So if you train the AI model on poor data quality, they will give you poor outcomes. They will give you poor recommendations, and they will give you poor outcomes. Okay, so data quality is an issue, and data availability is another issue. Sometimes accessing data is problematic. You cannot reach patient data easily. You cannot get data from like public health data, or from the Ministry of Public Health, or from some hospitals. It's not easy to find data to teach AI models. Integrating with existing systems is another problem, because sometimes you can develop good AI models, but you cannot integrate them to the current technology that you have in your hospital. Privacy and security concern is another thing that is very important. We should not violate patient privacy and patient security concerns. Costs is another thing because AI needs budgets to be devoted to developing the models. And sometimes we have the bias thing. Anyone knows what is bias? What is bias in AI training? Anyone knows what is bias in AI training? Different types of error. ولاء علاء. Yes, Wala, somehow, yeah, of course, bias is an error. We don't disagree on that. But bias is taking one side that is unfair. This is bias, right? And when we say bias, the AI model, it means that it has been trained on specific type of data, not general balanced data. For example, facial recognition models were trained on white Caucasian Americans, and it did not perform well on black Americans. Why? Because the data given to the models to train on was mostly given from white people. So it was very difficult for the model to understand what to do when the color of the skin is black, and so on. So if all the data given to the model is, for example, European data, you cannot expect that model to perform the same performance when it is applied to Saudi Arabia population or to Qatari population or to like Jordanian population or Lebanese population, because the model may be biased in its judgment. Is it clear now? Okay, good. Another thing is scalability and generalization. Uh, Anyone can tell me what's the meaning of scalability? Okay, good. Scalability. You can open the mic and talk.
Being measurable.
Malika is who is speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
How are you,
Malika.
Malika? Yeah.
Hi. Thank you.
Scalability is not being measurable.
Mm.
Measurability is being measurable. Okay.
Sorry.
So it's fine. It's fine. So scalability is the ability to be expanded. For example, specific model can analyze, let's say, XR or sorry, X-ray photos up to, let's say, 100 photos. Okay, and he can generate the result, the recommendation for 100 photo scale. Okay, can I use the same model with the same accuracy if I give the model 1 million photos, or it will fail? This is called scalability issue. Scalability is that the inability to perform well or to keep the performance when the scaling up occurs. And also scaling down, some models perform well with big data. If you give them small data, they will perform poor. Is it clear? Okay, what about generalizability? Who can comment on that? Farida, this is a big question. How can scalability be improved? We will talk about this. Yani hopefully in future meetings because this is a big thing. Generalizability. Let's go back to the point. Anyone knows what is generalizability? Don't be shy to share. Hala or Hala is saying make it broad. Make it broad. Adaptation. Not exactly, Farida. Okay, generalizability means I can take the results and they apply to any case rather than being applied to specific cases. For example, if I like some hospital uh, in the UK developed some AI model that will look at the X-ray image and will detect people that have positive COVID case, okay, in the UK patients. Generalizability means being able to take the same model in Lebanon and to run it in a Lebanese hospital and being able to detect COVID positive cases in the Lebanese patients. So, to being able to generalize the findings or the impact of the model rather than being only relevant to a specific group of people that it was made on. Is it clear? General statement obtained by inference from specific cases. That's right, Amal. That's right. And that's right, Yasmin. Being able to use it for any case. That's right. Okay, good. So, regulatory and approval challenges. Also, obtaining AI is not an easy thing. AI approvals because there is a plan to be regulated by some specific like organizations like the FDA. It is important to like develop the necessary regulations for AI usage, acceptance and trust among healthcare professionals and patients. This is another issue. How far can you trust an AI application or the professional who utilizes an AI application? Um, Also, of course, here it's very important to highlight the title of this slide. AI has limitations, and it is very important to have human oversight. This is a very important conclusion because you cannot use AI alone without human oversight, without some supervision from humans, because AI can make mistakes. Dot. Period. AI can make mistakes. No matter how big is the opportunities, is the improvement, is the dreams we can reach with AI assistant or assistance, but we still need human supervision and oversight over the AI performance. We cannot trust AI 100%. Interesting, isn't it? Because that's the truth. You cannot trust AI 100% and leave the full control of everything, especially the sensitive tasks, to AI alone without human oversight. The last term here I'd like to share is explainability. Do you want anyone also, if someone tries to share what if they know the word explainability or no? Have you ever come across the word explainability? Everyone is sleeping right now or what? Explainability. Anyone has an idea? Okay, Razan. Something that can be explained. Fatima Ahmed. Being able to explain things in a correct and precise way. The causes, the ability of AI model to explain certain point correctly. All of you answered right, but I'd like to formulate it right. Okay? AI makes decisions, right? AI makes decisions. It can take some photo, some X-ray image, and tell you it is COVID positive or COVID negative. Okay? But some models are called black box. Black box means they do not tell you how did they reach this decision. You don't know how they think inside. And some models are white box. White box, it means they are explainable. They can tell you how did they reach this decision. So its ability to explain how did they reach the decision, as Yara said. Yes. Not to explain things to humans, no. To explain the reason of the decision of the AI. Okay? Okay. So we emphasized on the human oversight, and we said that there are ethical and legal considerations, and we cannot over rely on AI without human supervision. Okay, I guess يعني I covered the most important things because I prepared so much big slides for 2 or 3 events. Let's recap what we have said. Okay, AI is a transformative practice in healthcare in general and in pharmacy. In specific, it is revolutionary in the field of pharmacy. It can impact pharmacy practice, clinical pharmacy decisions, pharmacy or giving care to the patient and consulting the patient, clinical decision support. It can impact the supply chain of medications and the efficiency of storing medications and deciding the stock levels. It can also improve the drug development and coverage for the drugs. It can help in pharmacy, telepharmacy, and remote pharmacy services. It can help in personalized patient care and personalized medicine and pharmacogenomics studies. There are, of course, future trends. We are still in the beginning, especially in the Arab world. So it's very important to have such meetings, to have awareness among colleagues, students like yourself, and to be aware of what's happening worldwide, and to start putting some light on the AI in the pharmacy domain and the possible applications, and to integrate AI education and awareness within the curricula of the universities as well. Okay, now I can open the floor for some more questions, and let's discuss some more questions. We have like 10 minutes for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed, for this informative session. We really appreciate your presence here with us. So we're going to open the questions for the participant for around 15 minutes. So if anyone has a question, please raise your hand and Dr. Ahmed will answer you.
Thank you.
We have a question from Hala. So Hala, please ask Dr. Ahmed what you have.
Thank you, Doctor, for this meeting. My question is, the demand of rules and the law of in the countries applied for the AI systems. Is it a limitation for using it in the pharmaceutical industries?
It's an important question, Hala. Thank you very much. Actually, let me before AI, okay? You know that pharmacy practice is regulated by many things, right? So, for example, I'll tell you something. In Qatar here, they do not allow the pharmacists to dispense antibiotics without a prescription. I'm not sure what is the practice in Jordan. In Egypt, they are allowed, but in Qatar, they are not allowed. Antihistaminics need prescription. Pharmacists are not allowed to measure the blood pressure in the pharmacy and to take the blood glucose level readings because they are not licensed to do that in Qatar. So there are differences between countries, especially in the scope of the licensed pharmacist practice in general. So yes, regulations are important, and they can affect and limit the use of AI anytime in any domain, especially in healthcare and pharmacy.
I have another question. Okay, like as a pharmacist, should I learn how to use the AI and program this إيش اسمه? Or it's like a collaboration مع any AI expert?
It's you, Hala, again?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's actually an interesting question, Hala. Uh, you know, I'll give you my own personal perspective on this, not what is happening. Okay, what is happening is that we live in isolated islands. We have the domain of pharmacy, we have the domain of medicine, we have the domain of computer science, and if you want a big project, just make collaborations from different specialities. But personally, my own beliefs is that with time, every specialty should have an intersection with technology, and that should be taught officially in their undergraduate curriculum and postgraduate curriculum. And that's why I joined the Computer Science College in my PhD studies, because I believe that pharmacists are capable of learning coding and developing AI models themselves, given the right foundation and the right courses and the right journey. And it will be better if there was mixed speciality or dual specialties that are developed early on in their life stages, and this is doable one day, I'm sure.
Thank you, Dr.
Any other question? I see so many thanks on the chat. Thank you everyone for the amazing session and your participation. Your engagement was amazing actually. And it was great to be with you. So any other question? Inshallah, we will be inshallah arranging other meetings inshallah in the future.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
May I ask a
Yes.
question?
Fadia?
Is it Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Is there any special rule related to using artificial intelligence in healthcare that we have to follow? Is there any rule? It's a little bit dangerous, but is there any rule?
Again, please. You are asking if there is a specific
Rule?
rule. You
Yeah.
mean like professional opportunity in the world? Yes, there is a career called pharmacy informatics. It is
No,
not well.
I mean, is there any rule? A rule? I mean, Arabic قانون. Okay. Is there any rule? I don't know. Explain rule. Rule.
To do what?
To use artificial intelligence. Is there any rule, governmental rule or something like that, that says you shouldn't use it because it's dangerous for something like that?
Something that bans the AI usage?
Yeah,
it is actually the other way around. Before using it, we should regulate. We should know what is allowed. We should get approval. Not so that the baseline is don't use in healthcare unless you prove efficient and you take responsibilities and accountability is known. By accountability is known is that it is the ultimate responsibility of the healthcare professional at the end. Even if he uses a recommendation system, it will be his responsibility to follow the decision because he has his own knowledge and he is trained to take the decision. He can take a recommendation, but it is his ultimate responsibility at the end.
I think that's my answer. Thank you.
Welcome. So, one last question before we leave. Any other question? Okay, let me tell you this question and answer it. And then I will be thanking all of you again. The question is, what will happen the next 2 to 5 years? That's a big period to talk about. But if you talk about the next 2 to 3 years, I do expect to have some introductory courses in the College of يعني pharmacy worldwide and in Arab worlds maybe after 2 years from now. This will be taught officially, at least the basics. And my expectations is in the industry or the practical world, AI applications will start to increase and to be seen, especially in the countries that will make the approval fast, and they have what is called as AI strategy or AI vision. In these documents, some countries already started to develop guidelines with some regulations, some ethics, and the first country to mention is the UK, which already formulated and issued its AI strategy, and lots of countries will follow, but they will take their time. And in the Arab world, I wish the best for our countries, inshallah, to join the train and to not to be the lastest to join the journey, inshallah. It was great to be with all of you. I'd like to thank all of you again. And inshallah, I hope I'll be meeting with you again, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmad. For everyone else, please scan the barcode on the screen for the attendance. And in order to get the certificate, you have to attend the two sessions, this session and the other session on December, the 19th of December, which will be in the same time as today. So please scan the attendance barcode, and we will see you in the other session, inshallah. Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed, again.
Thank you
It was
very
a pleasure
much.
having you.
The same here.